at the EduWiki Hub, and I'll be the moderator or co-moderator for today's session. So thank you and welcome, and it's nice to have you all here. So while we are waiting, we just want to give it a few more minutes for more people to join us. But while we're doing that, please introduce yourself in the chat. You can tell us your name or your username and where you're joining us from. How is the weather over there? For example, my name is Barakat and I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. And the weather today is quite hot. It's very hot. It's a hot afternoon here. So you can also follow the same format and let's get to know each other in the chat. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or if you want to say anything or complain about anything, you can leave comments in the chat or send messages to um, the co-hosts. We all, which are the team members, we all have EduWiki Hub in brackets in front of our names. So you can reach out to any of us while on the call. So thank you. We have hands raised. Okay, so we have Obi and Goody Mirage. Are you trying to speak or is that a mistake?
Yes. No, it's
Yes,
not a
I'm trying
mistake.
to
I
speak. Good
think
evening.
I think the chat is disabled, so we can't use the chat. So I will just say my name. My name is Obvious Zilo, joining from Abuja, Nigeria. The weather here is cool. I think it's going to rain. So if you don't mind, be kind enough to open the chat so that we can follow your instruction and prepare our chat.
Hello,
Yes, me too. I
everyone.
was just saying the same thing. Good evening.
Sorry, can you
Good
try to
evening.
use the chat now? Because I don't know if I've been able to sort that out.
I'm trying to type in the chat and it's saying it's disabled. So I'll still go ahead
Yeah,
with
it's
it.
working now. I think
It's
yes. Thank
working
you.
now, yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
we're
good
so sorry
Mirage.
about that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So we have a comment in the chat before now. We have Tasha from San Francisco. It's nice to have you here. We also have Siyash from India. We have Sailesh from Wikimedia Foundation. Um, okay, we have Bosa from Macedonia. I am loving the participants already because we have people from across regions. So if you're just joining us again, welcome, and we'll be moving on to the session now. But what we are doing currently is to introduce ourselves in the chat by telling us your name or your username, where you're joining us from, and how is the weather over there. Thank you. Okay, I think we can start now. Just give me a minute. Okay, thank you and welcome back. So okay, so today's agenda for today's workshop. So if you're just joining again, this is the EduWiki workshop, and what we do here is to learn different skills that can help us as Wikimedians and educators. But on the agenda for today, we have 7 items on our agenda: introduction, icebreakers, and then our session is broken down into 3 parts. We have the part 1, part 2, and part 3. We'll have photo sessions, we'll have Q&As, and then we'll have time to tell you about our next step. So that's just to summarize everything. Next tab, please. Yes. So while we welcome, it is a friendly space. We want everyone to be able to share their thoughts or communicate with one another. But we also want everyone to know that this session is strictly guided by the Wikimedia Friendly Space policy. If we have any doubts, you ask questions. You can use the chat to ask questions. And if at any time you'd like to speak, just raise your hand. Do not just unmute your mic. You can raise your hand and then we'll call on you. We participate actively and openly. You don't have to keep anything. If it is beneficial to the session, if you think that you have to ask, you have to share, please, we want it to be interactive. We want it to be active and it is open to everyone. We also strive to become a supportive and respectful learning community. So let's refrain from anything that will pass insults to anyone or negative words or anything. Let's be respectful to everyone and let's listen with attention and respect. So again, if you'd like to say anything, the chat is open and you can raise your hand to speak. Thank you. Next slide. So we have the the EduWiki Hub board members. We have them here. We have Liana, we have Philip, we have Jao, we have Shreya, and then we have Ziko. So next slide. We also have the hub team. I said earlier that the hub team, they are the co-hosts, and we all have EduWiki Hub in brackets in front of our names on this call. Should you need to reach out to any of us. So these are the team members. We have Bukola, we have Barakat, myself, we have Jose, and we have Rita and Rhoda. Next slide. Now, to open up the session, and we want to have an engaging session, so we want everyone to be involved. And what we'll do to encourage that to start the session, we'll be having an icebreaker. So I'll be handing over to Rita, who will be handling the icebreaker.
Hi,
Rita.
everyone. Thank you for
Hi,
joining.
Rita.
To start with a little task and an icebreaker, in the next 1 to 2 minutes, we would like for you to find an unusual object to show on camera. So nothing everyday like a glass, a cup, or a smartphone. Make sure the object is family friendly, of course. Not too personal, that you can show it briefly and explain it in a sentence or two. I'm really excited to see what you can come up with. For example, I have brought this kaleidoscope, which is in topic because I have bought it from my niece. So if you can find something interesting to show to us as an icebreaker, you have 1 to 2 minutes. We'll wait, and whoever first come first serve can talk about it in a bit.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. So I'm showing a wireless charger.
Okay, thank you.
It's a wireless charger. It charges your device wirelessly, just connecting the wireless to the power source and then putting your device on it. It begins to charge.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me show my own. I have a kind of bat, but it's not for ball. We use this to kill mosquitoes. We have them plenty around here. So, and it's chargeable. So this is what I have. That is
Thank
very
you.
unusual. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think I'll go next. This one I bought during the Wikimania Singapore for my kids, and luckily in the home cleaning yesterday for the Diwali I found this, and now I'm going to give it to my kids. after waiting a very long time period, because I just forget it. Like I bought it from Singapore, and now it's time to give them.
Thank you for sharing. They're gonna be happy about it.
Okay, I show my little dog. Come on. Hi, everyone. This is the Momo.
Hi. Momo. Okay, that's not an usual object, so good.
Yes, not objective. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have a raised hand. You can talk freely.
All right. Hi, my name is Uncle Bash. With me, I have an LED light. It is used for photography or videography. If you want to add more light to your space, thank you very much.
Thank you for showing that.
I think I'll go next. I have toothpick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to like make my teeth comfortable once I put something inside, and yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so I also have, I don't know if this is unusual, but a friend gave me this during Wikimania. It is a Slovenian 2 euro cents. So I have this as well. So, but it's unusual to me because we don't use it here. So,
Do we have anyone else who wants to share?
Oh,
Hello.
sorry. Go ahead, Jose.
First the lady.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Tasha. This is a Lego duck made with an exercise where you give a room full of people, the students, the same 6 Legos. They all have 1 minute to make a duck, and it turns out everyone is different from everyone else. So it's a great way for students to consider that there isn't only one way to learn or express themselves.
That's a great exercise. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so I present here, but I don't know if it is really visible. It is our little booklet that we have published the beginning of the year. It's about writing for Wikipedia, making use of Wikidata and Wikimedia Commons. Now you can see it.
If we have one more, because then we have to finish the icebreaker. So Jose, if you wanted to share something, and then we can finish this exercise.
Okay, this is for grinding coffee. I like to buy the coffee in ground and put here and more. I don't know to say in English how to, but out here and go to the coffee chip maker.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you everyone for sharing. And now we can continue. Barakat.
thank you. Thank you, Rita, and sorry for that. Thank you, Rita, and thank you everyone for that beautiful icebreaker. I was able to see some items or some items that I never knew about, and it was nice. So we'll be moving on to the next item on the agenda, and what we are about to do today is to what we're about to do now is to talk about the workshop, to go straight into the workshop and to everyone to be able to benefit from it and want to have enough time. So today's workshop is called Children and Wikis. And next slide. So, what would this workshop entail, and what do we expect everyone that is a part of this call to benefit at the end of the session? So, we want participants will be able to know the main differences between children and other target groups, and also participants would have tried out ways to make sentences clearer and simpler for children, and will also be able to identify images that fit well in content for children. And in regards to that, to achieve all of this, the workshop has been broken down into three parts. We have the part one, we have the part two, and then we have the part three that we all get to learn. So I want everyone to be able to stay with us till the end, so we can all learn from every of the parts and also be able to put everything that we've learned to use. And to take us or to share this knowledge with us today, we have Dr. Ziko van Dijk, and Ziko studied linguistics and history and is also the co-founder of Lexicon Encyclopedia, which is a German encyclopedia for children, and is also the tool that we'll be using as an example for today's session. So Dr. Ziko is a German currently living in the Netherlands, Wikipedia. So let's send our virtual applauses to welcome Ziko as I hand over the mic to him. Ziko, I am handing over to you.
Yes, thank you and welcome. So lovely that so many people came to this workshop, and I suggest that we start right now. We have a part one, a part two, and a part three, and I hope we'll be a little bit in the time scheme, but we have plenty of time, so nobody's knocking at my door after 2 hours. Welcome. So we start with part one, and there's some, yes, and the next one, please. Yes, thank you. The right slide. So I want to introduce like this. There are some people who say that an encyclopedia for children is a waste of time. They say that it is much better to create one website in simple language that works for everybody with special needs. Then you are going to reach more readers. Well, in this part one, I would like to show you the different needs of different target groups. Next slide, please. And as a reminder, there's the Lexicon, which is an example of a website for children of a certain age group. And we assume that the young readers, they can read German well, and they have a normal development of speech and intelligence. And then there is the simple English Wikipedia. This Wikipedia language version informs about its target groups as follows: children, people with learning disabilities, including difficulties to read, and people who have a different native language than English. So, what is better? Next slide, please. I suggest that we have a look at those different target groups. I have prepared some short biographies of people who need some kind of support. The background of these biographies is a government program in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is a country that attracts many immigrants, each year more than 100,000 people. This government program is directed not only to immigrants. It exists to support people who have Dutch as a first language, but have reading problems. It also exists to support people who have Dutch as a second language and maybe also other problems as well. So let's listen about the lives of 3 of them. So we also have a link to a page with the short bios for later, but first let us read the biographies. Rita, you go on, I believe?
Yes. So Sanne is a 66-year-old Dutch woman. Her husband passed away a few years ago. Sanne enjoys having a walk in nature and meeting friends. She is a grandmother of 3 grandchildren whom she looks after 2 days a week after school. Sanne's husband used to do all the administrative tasks and read the newspaper to her. Sanne would very much like to be able to do this herself.
Rhoda, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Philemon is 22 years old. He comes from Eritrea and came to the Netherlands when he was 19. He attended primary school in Eritrea for a few years. Last year, Philemon obtained his basic Dutch language diploma. This year, he started a vocational training program to become a carpenter. Philemon still finds it difficult to speak Dutch. He has a lot of trouble reading his textbooks and completing writing assignments. Philemon wants to get his diploma and would like to improve his reading and writing skills to achieve this.
Zainab is a 50-year-old Turkish woman. She has studied public administration. She had a good job in Turkey in the administration of a large city. Last year, she came to the Netherlands because of the political situation in her home country. Some of her family members already lived in the Netherlands. Zainab finds it difficult to learn Dutch and adapt to life in the Netherlands. She enjoys classical music, cooking, and watching television. In her daily life, she wants to become less dependent on others.
Yes, thank you. So these are 3 people, and we are going to talk about their needs. So there are 3 questions following, and it may help you if you have the biographies to read, and I believe we have them on the Etherpad. Yes, if someone could link to the Etherpad. And then I'm going on to read the questions, and then I'm happy to get reactions from you from the chat. Maybe we have time from audio about the needs of these people. So, and as we have a lot of participants, I'm not sure if we can react to every reaction. I'm sorry for that, but we will see. So the next, the question 1, please. The next slide. So the question 1, children need a reference work to look things up, to learn about the world. What content do Sanne and Zeynep need? So not a children's encyclopedia, or maybe, but what content do you need when you are in this situation of Sanne or Zeynep? Yes, take your time. You are typing, and that takes some time.
You can also, yeah, sorry. I just wanted to suggest dropping the contents on those slide directly in the chat as well, if it's difficult to access the Etherpad as well.
Yes, please keep posting and consider what kind of content they know, or yes, what kind of knowledge also. So we wait another minute and then I sum up a little bit. Do we do it that way? Yes. Yes, should we go on? Yeah, sum it up. So I see a lot of very to the point reactions in that chat. Oh, Barakat also, yes, this the text. Yes, I see about administration. Tasha about daily life, wonderful. Carolina, yeah, knowledge about taxes or other things, or the media that they are, wonderful. So that's exactly going to the direction that I was thinking about. Zainab, for example, well, she came to the Netherlands. She needs information about her residence status, or is she allowed to work, or is she eligible for some government program? So she would need up-to-date information about exactly that on a website that is authoritative. So I suppose if she wants to learn about the difference between Indian elephants and African elephants, well, she can look it up in Turkish. She doesn't need that for that, you know. When it comes to Sana, yes, exactly, it goes into the direction, but also I suppose that Sana has very serious difficulties with reading and writing, and she needs a training program for this dyslexia, which is tailored for her. And later she will be advised to read for 15 minutes a day, and that should be something she enjoys, like a novel. Or in this case, actually, maybe she wants to read a newspaper in simple language, which exists. But Sanne is really not going to read an encyclopedia from A to Z. That's not going to happen. That's not the target. Yes, do we want to go on to question 2? Second question, children find it difficult to deal with percentages and decimals. So we talked about this in the teaser and the knowledge showcase. So for example, ocean water has a salinity of 3.5%. Well, how about Philemon and Zainab? What about them? Do they have problems with percentages and decimals? What do you think? Yes, I give another minute, yes? Yes, I will go on. Yes. Yes, wonderful. And I totally agree with you in the chat. Zainab, she went to school, she went to university. I don't see any reason why she would have a problem here. But yeah, Philemon, if he attended school only for a couple of years, I suppose that he missed a lot. And this could be a part of the problems that he is facing right now. And he would need some kind of support that is exactly about that. Yes, indeed. Should we go on to question number 3? So if you recommend to them an encyclopedia for children, foreigners, the disabled, how will Sanne or Zeynep react? What do you think? An encyclopedia or maybe a children's book? So what would their reaction if you recommend that to them?
Can participants also unmute to speak for anyone?
Please.
Okay.
Okay, you can raise your hand if you want to speak, so the voices don't overlap, and then we'll pass the mic to you.
Hello, Robert. So what I see from Caroline, that Sanne wouldn't see herself part of the group for the target groups. Very good point. I didn't think of that in this way. Very good, yes. So more or less, I'm going to wrap this up. Type now. Yes, so the question 3, could you do the slide before? Yes, and then before the slide 112. And yes, thank you. So I absolutely agree. This could be a problem. So with Sanne, I could imagine that she had a lot of negative experience at school. Yeah, she saw others doing things she couldn't, like reading a newspaper, and that maybe she often felt that people don't take her seriously or treat her as a child if she has these problems. So I could imagine that someone like Sanne may react quite negatively if you suggest a website for children. For Zainab, I would suppose, well, she had a lot of successes in school, she had a career, she's hardly afraid of being labeled as stupid. And if she's learning Dutch and someone recommends, hey, for you now in this phase, a children's book like this would be good for you to read, and she might be fine with that, you know. But that would be only useful for a brief moment or brief stage on her way to learn. Oh, I see. Robert and Philemon. I see that the Philemon wrote something, and yes, I totally agree. It can be very useful if you are a newcomer in a country or new in a language to use children's literature. I did so myself when I came to the Netherlands, but for several reasons, I could imagine that that could be only in a certain phase when they learn Dutch and they quickly will move on. And yes, it depends all on their situation. What are their information needs? But I totally agree in general, yes. Thank you. Should we go on to the next slide, Barakat? What do you think? Yes? So I would wrap this up in this way. In general, when you are writing, you should write for a specific target group. For example, a friend of mine once showed me his manuscript for a novel. Then I asked him, "Who is your target audience?" And he said, "Everyone." And I told them that's nearly impossible. Writing for a specific group like middle-aged nerdy men like me, that's relatively easy. But writing something that appeals to everyone for the mainstream, a novel meant to suit all readers, men and women, young and old, locals and immigrants. There are certain great authors who are capable to do that, but it's really difficult if you want to achieve some quality. So therefore, it is much better define your target group and find out what matters to them. Next slide, please. So in my personal view, we need an encyclopedia for children and another one for grown-ups, something that is simpler than English Wikipedia. English Wikipedia has become so technical, so specialized, and therefore we need a version in simple English for adults who already read that language well. That should not be meant as a language learning tool or a tool to overcome dyslexia. You would need something specific for that. Like in the third column, we need websites tailored to specific groups, such as people with dyslexia, etc. And I am not sure whether the Wikimedia movement can achieve this, if our wiki way is the best way for that, but in my opinion, that would be the way, and not try to solve everything with one Wikipedia. But now, about children. So we are going to part 2. Does anybody want to say something finally for part 1 about the target groups? I think we have time for one of you to say something. If not, we go to slide number 20201, I believe it is. Yes? And Rita, would you take over?
There's a comment in the chat. I don't know if we can read that or if that has been.
Philemon?
Yes.
Yes, as I said, I totally agree with Philemon. For some people do that, and a book or a website for children can be useful when you are learning a language. It would depend on factors, but by itself, it's not a strange idea, yes.
Oh, okay.
So we are going to part 2.
We do have a short break between the parts, right? I don't know if it's showing on screen.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you. So we'll be having a break now, a short break. So I think it's also time for us to, you can leave comments in the chat if you want to say anything. You can connect with one another. You can network, get to know one another better. But right now, we'll be going on a short break. And you can also
way of expressing herself. Next slide. Because she could have simply said this: about 100 years ago, these buildings were remodeled. And I'm actually not quite sure what exactly does it mean. Was something renovated or rebuilt or something like that? So, and in general, I find it strange to say experienced, because buildings can't experience anything. So in my understanding of the language, only humans or animals can experience something. So there are different styles in which you can express yourself. Not every style is suitable for every target group. And therefore we have to ask ourselves, what kind of language do we need when writing for children? You know, a website often has a so-called house style. So how you write and how you present things. So, and how do you figure out what house style you need for your website? Well, actually, you would have to start with a detailed analysis. You have to consider who the target audience is, what do the people in the target audience want, what are they capable of and what not. What kind of format is it? And what goals do you want to achieve? For example, an encyclopedia is a different format compared to a novel or a simple collection of fun facts. So here are a few principles for the lexicon as an example. So this website must be written in standard German. That is essential, because otherwise teachers and parents would not accept it. So it mustn't be in a dialect or in slang. Furthermore, German-speaking children already have a very good command of the German language when they are in this age group, but they simply don't know as many words as adults yet, and they don't read as fluently. So and everything must be for this format. Well, an encyclopedia is a collection of impersonal, factual texts, and that is what it must be. You are not going to say, "Hello, dear children, I'm going to tell something to you." You know that. And here I have some important ideas for the readability that I found again and again and were confirmed by others to me. The first question when I see a text, I would ask myself, do your readers know the words you use? And then you certainly know the discussion, well, how long should a sentence be? And I'd say, well, the more important question is actually, how much information is put into one sentence? And finally, is the sentence structure easy to follow? So can your readers immediately spot the main clause and the subordinated clauses, for example? Again, this is simply not a question about the length of the sentence, but how well is it constructed? This is an actual sentence that I have found in the lexicon, originally in German. So, and the context is given in brackets here. You see the first part. More than 200,000 people work for McDonald's worldwide. That is the context. It's about McDonald's. So, and then this figure corresponds approximately to the population of Potsdam. You know, and then I would ask myself, if I want to improve the sentence, do all children know what Potsdam is or what a population is? You know the word population, that sounds quite abstract. So what does it mean? Well, it simply means that there are people living there. So, and with this thought, what it actually means, in my own words, I tried to make the sentence easier to understand.
Now let's go to the breakout rooms. You will receive a link to the sentences and you are asked to simplify them. We have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. Each group will work on one task and we will discuss this in the breakout rooms. Write a better version in your group together and then we will take these versions back to the workshop. I just shared the Etherpad link where you can find both of the tasks, task 1 and task 2. These are original short tasks. Please improve these short texts so that the group will have a new version at the end, and then you can just copy and share that suggested new version in the Etherpad under the task that you just had.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to
Hello, everyone. I believe I will be the moderator for this particular room. And thank you for staying. Thank you for still being here. And we have a message in the chats that I'll just repost or reshare in the chats to guide us through. So just give me a minute. Okay, so I have reshared it. So we can choose task. We have two tasks, and what we are to do in this breakout room is to speak in the few minutes that we have here to talk about each of the tasks, and then we'll document it. We'll have pictures before we go back to before every other person joins us back in this main room because we are in the main room. So let me just open the Etherpad. And I'll be sharing the task in the chat. So we have two tasks, task one or task two. And I'll be sharing both in the chat, and then we can decide what task we want to um, discuss. So please, it is an interactive session. It is an interactive room, and I would like all of us to talk together. We can all unmute our mics to speak, or you can raise your hand to speak if you'd like to take the mic. So we have task one here in the chat. So please you can check the chat. Task one is we have to so for these two tasks, what we have to do is to rephrase the words based on what Ziko has taught us in a way that will be suitable for children on um, Wikipedia. So the first sentence here is the culinary tradition of consuming boiled beef in Austria extend many centuries back. The methods of its preparation differ markedly, reflecting a rich diversity of regional recipes and techniques. Similarly, in Switzerland, this dish is categorized by notable regional variations. Then we also have the second um, task, which is the second sentence, and we cannot read it. I don't want to waste time reading the task. So let's which one are we going for first? We can chat, we can also unmute our mics to speak. So which topic do we want to go for first? Hi everyone. I don't know. I've just been speaking. I didn't even ask if I've been audible. Hi. Hello. Hello. Can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, just you can send a thumbs up or anything if you can hear me.
Another suggested version is the culinary tradition of consuming corn in Austria extends back many centuries. The methods of its preparation differ markedly, reflecting a rich diversity of regional recipes and techniques. Similarly,
Okay.
in Switzerland, the dish is characterized by global regional variation.
I guess there's no one
You
here.
might also want to think about that you're writing specifically for. Maybe I can read the original drafts that says the culinary tradition of Mexico is in Austria extends back many centuries. The method of its preparation differed. Okay, Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Okay. We have some parts. We're just waiting for them to join us back. Welcome. Rita, are you
For a
Yes.
moment, I'm away.
okay? Rita, I have left the mic for you.
Are we all back in the main?
Yeah, yes, we are all back.
Perfect. Maybe we should wait for Ziko to come back and we can start.
Okay, cool. I think while we are waiting for Ziko to get back, do we have some thoughts that we want to share aloud regarding the exercise we participated in the breakout room? Does anyone have like a quick reflection on how you found the exercise? Was it useful? Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go first. Like, sorry, I'm just attending this um the second part of this meeting, and I found this activity really very nice. I don't know whether I have put my translation version in the right group or not, but I have put placed in group two. And uh, the statement was about the volcano, and it was really very tough to understand, even it was not clear, not enough flow, even it was really very hard to understand me as well. So, yeah, of course, completely not okay for students, little children.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Okay, so welcome back, everyone. Can we post maybe the Etherpad? Share the screen and go together through the.
Yes, I had. So you had you were in which group?
He had the
Sorry, actually, yeah, I was in the Rita group. Maybe you can put my comment. I have put my name as well, so you can reshuffle at the appropriate group.
It's group 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
about the volcanoes. Yes, it was a very tough sentence, a very, very long, complicated sentence. Yes.
Not only long, complicated, but yeah, there is no connection. I can see like volcano is flowing very well, but not this whole paragraph.
So I think that the words actually were not that difficult. They didn't have so many very complicated technical terms, but simply the sentence had too much.
Yeah.
So, and you and your group, you have tried to make something more in several sentences of that. So, should I read it? Is this your proposal, the first one? Volcanoes can be violent or soft and silent. Lava is sometimes flowing along the mountain. At other times, the volcano explodes and rocks are thrown in the air. This can lead to the mountain getting a complete different shape. Yes, I totally understood that. That looks very good to me. Yes. What do other things? Who wants to comment on this solution? Somebody?
Well, maybe I forgot to mention that the crust can be thin or thick. This is missing.
Oh yeah, well, it's in the another sentence there. Oh, it is going on, yes. Yes, eruptions can occur with thin or broken crust. And the trapping of the gas, do we have the trapping of the gas? At other times, the volcano can explode, so that is where the gas is trapped. That's the part of it. Oh yeah, then I see under 5, sometimes volcanoes outburst gently, especially when the ground is thin and cracked. Full stop. In these cases, very good. And then the next sentence, but other eruptions can be very dangerous. So that's very good, where these two different things they were just having in the original, that you put that to different sentences. That's very good. Yes, yes, wonderful. And then when gas gets trapped, etc., etc., I think that the sentence that is following there, when gas gets trapped inside the volcano, etc., it's relatively long, but I think it is good to understand because it has a good structure. You know, when, then it can explode, and then throwing, and then changing. So I think that's not too bad, actually. Wonderful. Do we have more opinions on this? So I would say this is exactly the direction I would go. Break it up like in pieces, and then you build up a new sentence from these pieces. This is exemplary, wonderful. Was there a second group about this volcano text?
I think we only had 3 groups. And
Okay.
for room 1, we focus on tax 1, which was about paraphrasing or rewriting this paragraph. And we did receive some great suggestion from the team members in the room 1. And the original version of that paragraph reads as follows. The culinary tradition of consuming boiled beef in Austria extends back many centuries. The methods of its preparation differ markedly, reflecting a rich diversity of regional recipes and techniques. Similarly, in Switzerland, the dish is characterized by notable regional variations. And to rewrite this, we had some great suggestion in room 1. And as you can see on my screen, the first comment we got was, for many years, people in Austria have been eating boiled beef. There are lots of different ways to prepare the meat because there are a lot of different recipes and ways to cook the meat. Similar to Austria, there are a lot of different recipes to prepare dishes with beef in Switzerland. Different regions in Switzerland have their own ways to cook these dishes. So that was the first suggested version. Do you have any comments on that, Ziko?
I think that's a very good step to the right direction, that a lot of difficult words like culinary, what does it mean? It just means it has to do with eating or recipes, you know. So I think that you very well saw these are words you actually don't need. And the sentences are not too long, a little bit, yeah, they are fine, I would say. But that's actually the good direction, yes.
And I see there's also a please note in the second suggestion. I believe for some people who were trying to rewrite the statement, it was also very important for them to understand what kind of dish boiled beef is, and some were not even like familiar with the dish itself. So they needed more time to make research to better describe the sentence or paraphrase it. And that's why you see, based on the suggested version 2, it reads, for hundreds of years, people in the European country of Austria have cooked and eaten boiled beef. People use different ingredients depending on where they live in the country. The variety of recipe highlights difference among regional cultures. In Switzerland, a country next to Austria, people also cook this dish. Similarly, Swiss people cook this dish in many different ways. Note, I don't know what this dish is, so I would need to do research and describe it better.
That's the Wikipedian who wants to do it better. And actually, Jose said something very similar. If you want to rewrite and improve something, it is often it's very useful or necessary to learn more about the topic, before you
Yeah.
can do that. But even then, you could improve the original text very much, and saying, well, Switzerland is a country next to Austria. Not everybody knows that. Maybe in Switzerland and Austria and Germany, you know that. But yes, very good point, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I also did love the fact that this draft kind of identify the region. So it was easy for anyone reading it to quickly think about, oh, this country is an European country, right? Because not everybody knows that. Do we have any comments from anyone on the call? Would you like to contribute to this conversation? It's an open floor.
I guess I'd just like to, I wrote the second one there in yellow, and I want to point out that I borrowed or built on or crowdsourced many of the ideas from other people in this group. So I was able, I think, to make it clearer and better by, for example, saying that Switzerland is next to Austria was someone else's idea. So thank you for the crowdsourced work for everyone who's in the room. It was really helpful.
Yeah, and that also speaks to the nature of the wiki community. It's a crowdsourced community space, and there's always room for one to improve on other people's idea. Ziko, you want to speak?
Fine. Please go on.
Okay. Yeah, so the next suggestion was the tradition to cook and eat boiled beef in Austria is many centuries old. People in various places use various regional recipes and ways of preparation. The same is true also for Switzerland. What do you think about this comment, this version?
Can be shorter, huh? Can be shorter and shorter. The same is true for Switzerland. It's as good as it. Yes, wonderful.
Yeah, I was
Should we do
also
the
just wondering, yeah, I was also just wondering, Ziko, how do we ensure that the original meaning of the sentence do not get lost while we are rephrasing, making suggestion? What do you think?
Yes, you can ask yourself, can I improve the sentence structure, and you leave the rest alone? Or you ask yourself, well, how about the words like culinary? It doesn't add anything, and it has something to do with food. Or The tradition, okay, you are eating boiled beef. Is there a certain tradition? Is it related to holidays? So if it doesn't say that, leave it away. You can make it much more simple.
Okay, with this, we've come to the end of the reflection, and I'll stop sharing the Etherpad, and then we move to the part 3. Thank you, everyone, for these suggestions.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Am I on the right slide, just to confirm?
Yeah, 301. Huh? So coming. Yes, so talking about images, isn't it? So they are a valuable element of articles. An image has several functions. For example, it attracts the viewer and makes the viewer more likely to read the article. And there are other functions, and how to illustrate an encyclopedia is a very big topic with many aspects. For example, a photo should be technically good, bright enough, sharp enough, high contrast. I would say we focus here on a few aspects that we should pay attention to when it comes to children. So the following, there will be a few statements, 3 statements, and we will do it the following way. First, the topic is introduced, then the statement is presented, and then we ask you to react to the statement. And here's how it works. First, do you have the next slide? Yes, statements. So I would like to ask yourself, the statement you're going to hear, is it important? And second, do you think there's consensus on this within the community? So I'm not asking about your opinion, whether it is good or bad. So the first question is the statement important? Is it relevant? And second, what do you think about the larger Wikimedia community? Is there consensus? Do most people would agree on it? And how do you respond in the chat? Please assign 5 points from 1 to 5, and 5 means most. So the first number you post represents the importance, then you put a comma, and then the second number, it represents the consensus. If you think there's a lot of consensus, put a 5. So, and then you can write it in the chat, and maybe you have also the opportunity to say something via microphone. Yes? So the first statement on the next slide. That would be here a souvlaki. It is a dish from Greece. And this is a typical dish, and the photo would be actually very suitable for illustrating an article. However, if you pay attention, you will see in the corner, on the above corner, on the right, on the left, you will see a packet of cigarettes. So, personally, I am against drugs, but this shouldn't be just about my own opinions. In the German-speaking countries, there are actually government regulations for media that are directed to children. The consumption of alcohol and nicotine must not be presented as if it were completely normal and harmless. So, for example, if you have a television program for children, you cannot show the nice uncle who gets drunk at a party, and that's very funny and harmless. That would not be okay, according to the regulations. And yes, well, this is a different case. This is a children's encyclopedia. I would say, as a precaution, I would not use this image. I would use a picture without alcohol and cigarettes. So this is my first statement on the next slide. Yes, the next slide. So my statement for this is, ask yourself, what is considered harmless or normal in your society? And maybe you will have to look up regulations, you know, and then select the images accordingly. If you think that this statement is important, give a 5 or less, put a comma, and the second number is, do you think there's consensus? Would most people in the community agree to it? Wow, so Yash immediately important, but few people would agree to it. Yes, Geert finds it important, yes. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Well, I see a certain tendency in this. So like anybody thinks it's very important, but most of you are very afraid that the community doesn't agree with you. Wow. That's strong. I didn't expect this, honestly. Is there someone who wants to comment with a microphone? I think we have time for a comment. If not, we would go on to the next statement. Yes, to the next slide. The second statement is about the following. So you see here an image from Israel. So, and this shows a woman and a boy who are reciting prayers. And the question could be now, well, is this even legal to take this image? You know, I'm not sure about the exact laws of the country, but I would say, on the one hand, that this is a public space and you cannot recognize the faces. On the other hand, these are people who are clearly the subject of the image. So the people, you cannot say they are just accessories, they are de minimis, a little byproduct. No, they are the subject, the central message of the image. And well, they have personality rights, personal rights here. You know, actually, you would have to ask these people for their permission, even if the faces cannot be recognized. But quite apart from the law is important, you know, but I would say in general, praying, that is a very personal, private moment. So, I mean, I personally, I'm not religious, but from a moral point of view, I don't think that the photo should have been taken. It should not be used in an encyclopedia, because if you use the image in an encyclopedia for children, you would send the wrong message, you know, that it would be okay to use an image like this. So hence, the second statement, next slide please. Respect people's private lives and private moments, especially when it comes to children. Act morally, even if the law allows you to use it. So and now again, I would be very curious. Your first number, is it important? A comma, and then do you think that there's consensus in the community? And you can also write other comments, of course.
Sorry, Ziko, can you repeat the second question because my
Yes,
internet was just
yes.
disconnected.
I read it out loud again, yes. The second statement is, respect people's private lives and private moments, especially when it comes to children. Act morally, even if the law allows you to use it. So the thing is, first is the, oh yes, Rita writes it, is it important, comma, and is there consent, consensus, consent, do the community members agree on this? Oh, Gert is asking, are the papers, are they a religious book or text? Well, the caption said they are reciting religious poems, and in this situation, I would say it's the same as praying, but I'm actually not an expert on this, yes. Oh, this is a very quite diverse. That's interesting. So a lot of agreement on the importance and quite different opinions whether the community would agree with it. Does anyone want to write a comment or say it with a microphone? For example, if you think, why isn't there a lot of consent?
Yeah, actually, this is really very important to have respect, especially, because this particular image, it doesn't reflect or show like whether the photographer has taken consent from these two persons. This is first. So this is important, like we should respect whether it is allowed or not. And on the other hand, maybe community people, why I have given it, I think, 2 number, because there, I can, uh, because there are in the community people who can say like, okay, since we are not showing up the faces, so it is okay to have these type of photographs in, in encyclopedic articles. So that's it's why I have given this 2, because maybe a fewer percentage will be agreeing, but yeah.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I can very much imagine that, yes. Beat, you are lifting the hand.
Yes, okay. So one remark I would say, it depends on the page on which this image would be used. If it would be a page about religion, then the image could be very well used. It depends on the subject, I would say.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Thank you. Interesting. Liliane, is it okay to address you as Liliane?
Oh, yes, thank you. So I would like to say it is very important to respect the people privacy and even private life and even private moment. But also when it comes to the children, you have to respect how we use their image, because you know that they are the people who also need their privacy. Sometimes they may use it, and later when they grow up, they will never even like how they are used according to the content even where they are used. So I think it is better to respect the use of image, especially in the global content, I think, because it will sometimes reflect to the personal feelings of the owner of the image in the future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I very much agree, especially in a global world where you cannot be always sure who's going to see it. And I put the statement here because I thought there are some Wikipedians, or there are many Wikipedians, they say, as long as it is legal, I would use the image, and I think we should be better than that. We should have our values and what we find important, and we shouldn't do that. Yeah. Okay. Philemon says, value of respect each other. Indeed, yes. Oh, and Venka says, as long it is legal and on a public place. So that would be the question. So you would not agree in this point. And you would think there's not much consent, I suppose. So if depends on if Venture reacts. Otherwise, I would. Okay, exceptions. Ah, I see, Charlie. Yes, yes. It's well, and then it depends on the country how the regulation is. And yes, when you want to start a children's encyclopedia, you must be very careful what are the regulations, and we see they can be different. Yes, yes. Okay, do we go on to the third and last question or statement? So the third statement, this is about the complexity of maps. So I have here chosen a map of the Ottoman Empire. It is too complicated, you know, and the issue here is that there are not just too many details, it also assumes a lot of prior knowledge. So think of this, a child has to understand historical dates, time periods, what is such a period, how colors on the map correspond to different eras, and there are different kind of colors. There is this band colorit, so around it, there are these shaded colors. So, you know, this is too complicated. And what would be much better if you ask yourself first, why would I show a map at all? What is my goal to show? If I simply want to show that the Ottoman Empire was very large, then you simply use one simple map with one color, showing the empire at a single point of time, not trying to convey this idea of the expansion. So, and hence the third statement, the next slide, please. Try to avoid illustrations that are too complex. Children in particular still find many cultural design conventions too difficult. And what I was talking about, you know, how this kind of maps work, these are culturally dependent design conventions. So again, we have the third statement. Do you think it is important? And do you think is there consent in the community? Thank you, Rita. Yes. Oh, again, such a difference. Yes. Hey, seeing the results coming in, yes. Okay. Oh, Charlie, you put it quite low. Do you want to open the microphone?
Yes, Yama. The hard part is that in Japan and in general, the history part or the sociology part is more centered around the United States, not Europe. So when you ask children about where the present day Turkey is located, they show you a puzzled face that they're not sure where the Turkey is. And sadly, I'm finding that even the United Kingdom does not attract the geographic interest of the pupils in many classes. Maybe because we are so conscious about what the United States will do the deals with Japan and such, and the TV programs are concentrating on that subject too much. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you. I didn't think of that. But as you just said, the classroom could very much, these are conventions you have to learn, and maybe they are Eurocentric or Western centric, and it all depends on that. And I would actually say also for grown-ups, a map like this would be wonderful for students of history in university, but I find it quite complex. But many Wikipedians wouldn't agree, and that is also the opinion that I can see in the chat. You know that most of you find it important, and many of you also think that there's not so much consent. Many Wikipedians like complicated maps, isn't it? I like them too, but okay. Yes, wonderful. If there is no comment on this last part, I would go on.
I would like to comment just about why I
Please.
have given number one. Yeah, because I'm completely agree, especially if we are taking like such complex. I have already written in the chat, like even I will skip such complex map because I don't want that much into the history or more detailed map. But on the other hand, other Wikipedians who they can also argue like because of the complexity of this map, it also leads children to uh, get into the other countries or the other parts shown in the maps, so that they jump from one article to other article, and that's how they explore Wikipedia more. So because of that, I have written like this is one.
Yeah. And I think so too. And this thinking, I mean, when you have a children's encyclopedia and the text or the images are too complex, what is going to happen? Most children will go away and they are not coming back. So it doesn't matter what kind of readers you want to have. It's about what are the actual readers, and you have to adapt, and not the children have to adapt to you. So yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you everybody. So I have now this slide, and I just want to tell you the following, investing time in image selection. When I write an article for the Lexicon, and then I'm looking to Wikimedia Commons, finding good images is a lot of work. In my experience, it takes at least as much time as writing the article. Finding good image. Yeah, takes a lot of time. Yes. So, okay, if you do the next slide, we have a question time. I just wanted to say that this was the workshop proper with the 3 parts. I thank you very much. And we have now some announcements, I understood. And if you want to stay a little bit longer, we also have more question time about everything we have discussed about this evening or this day for you. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ziko. I think we can all agree that it was a very, very um, beautiful and detailed and well thought session. And I can see I enjoyed the fact that a lot of people were also interacting in the chat. It wasn't just the speaker talking and talking, and people even stayed. So that means it was a successful session. So thank you very much for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us, and thank you everyone as well for joining and for staying. So we still have him on the call, and we'll still be having question and answers as I said. But for now, we have to move on to the next item on the
Yeah,
agenda,
awesome.
and then we'll come back to have a lot of time for us to talk and share questions and recommendations. So next slide, please. Share sharing.
Okay.
Okay. While we are sharing the next slide, I would like to invite Bukola James to just in a few minutes tell us about the quick updates that we have for you at the EduWiki Hub. So, Bukola, I'm handing over the mic to you.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you everyone for staying on the call up until this time. It's really interesting to see that we do find this session useful, and we really want to just appreciate you, and we look forward to having you attend our next workshop that is coming up next year, right? January of next year. But apart from the workshop, we also have showcases. And for those of you who attended the last showcase we had, I'm sure you could tell how it was very interesting, and you found it useful as well. So this is me officially inviting you to kindly sign up for the next EduWiki Knowledge Showcase that is coming up November 27th. And the link to sign up will be dropped in the chat shortly by Rita. Now, what do we do in our showcase? It's just as the name implies, it's a space where you come showcase the Wikimedia education program, activities, projects, research that you've worked on, and you would like community members globally to uh, contribute to it or like hear about it. And who knows, it could be a space for collaboration even after you've shared about your projects. So it's also an opportunity for you to kindly send in your requests if you would like to be featured on our showcase. Of course, we would like to feature as many people that we can get. However, the showcases usually last for 1 hour, 30 minutes. So even though we'd love to spotlight so many people, we also have limited time to do that. So please, if you would like us to feature you in our showcase coming up November, do well to send in a mail to any of the team, or you can reach out via the links in the chat. Can somebody please drop those links as I'm speaking? Thank you. And yeah, so beyond showcases, would also like to spotlight as many news stories as we can, and would need your support to send in your Wikimedia education related stories to our newsletters. And for those of you who are really looking to gain visibility for your project, all of our spaces are a great way to amplify the work that you do within and outside of the wiki space. And yeah, so I've spoken about the showcase, the newsletters, and there's also one of the most anticipated news, which is the EduWiki working groups. So for some of you on this call, you've applied for the EduWiki working group, and we are here to unveil the names that have been shortlisted. But trust me, you don't have to wait for too long, because very soon we'll be unveiling the working group members across the 4 working groups that we have within the EduWiki Hub. So please stay tuned for our announcements, the big announcements, and we'll be reaching out to you soon. I don't want to give a date, but very soon we'll be reaching out to you. I think latest next week we should be able to unveil and announce the shortlisted working group members. Yeah, so those are the EduWiki updates. I don't know if I miss out on anyone, but yeah. Are we able to share the links? Because I can't find them in the chats.
Yes, thank you very much, Bukola. I believe I have shared the link in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
All of the
Thank you.
links, I've shared them in the chat as we were speaking.
Okay.
So, thank you very much. And I don't know if you mentioned the deadline for the submission of the newsletter. So if you want to submit your story, the deadline is 26th of this month. So, but right now we are still receiving stories. You can submit your story as and then the publication guidelines has also been dropped in the chat, so you can follow the publication guidelines to know what to submit to the newsletter. Thank you. So the next thing we'll be doing now, before we hand over back to Ziko, is to take a group photograph. So because I know it's already dark in some of our places, and before we all lose the light, so let's take group pictures and then we go back. So if you're comfortable opening your opening your camera, please do that while we take pictures and take.
Also, yeah, so also the foundation just released a course which is Wikipedia for beginners. I highly also encourage everyone, if you are a program organizer, a trainer, you want to ensure that you share those links with your trainers, your students, as they would really be useful for them. And yeah, I think that's all about the courses. We can also drop the link in the chats, and I'll pass the mic to Ziko for the unofficial conversation. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Bukola. Yes, well, I have nothing prepared here, but we have some time. If you have any question about the topic, about children, Wikipedia, the lexicon, so I'm here.
But first
And
of
I
all,
would like to, yes,
yeah, go ahead, please complete, then I'll start. Yeah, go ahead.
there's one thing I wanted to say. When I made this workshop, uh, I had the same problem as anyone who writes for a group. So I thought, this workshop, for whom is it? Oh, Bukola will be there. Oh yes, I know Bukola. We have met several times, so I have a certain idea what she could find interesting. But then Rhoda and Rita and Barakat were there. Okay, I don't know them that well, and they are, and then you are here, Suyash, and Geert is here, and Obi, and